Huawei, Huawei, Huawei.
已平息，您使用的电话已平息，您使用的电话已平息。
Let's just give a quick recap to people who don't understand. There have been sanctions against China's, there have been chip sanctions. In other words, China produces a lot of very high-tech equipment, like electronics, I should say. But what most people didn't realize for the longest time is they're not actually making the chips that go into it, because it's actually very difficult to make high-end chips. Okay, it's incredibly specialized. It's something that the Chinese market hasn't matured enough to do, and the expertise is not there. So
What are you talking about? They have 5G AI expertise.
Yeah, they got 5G AI expertise. So the thing is, they can build a fancy computer or a fancy phone, but they can't make the chips that go into it. So they import all of that stuff from America, Taiwan, and various, like the Netherlands, Netherlands. Some of you might call it Holland, which is not correct, but anyway, you know what I mean? The place with windmills and clogs.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that stuff gets imported, and then they just like put it into their machines. So of course, sanctions were put in place because of various reasons, and China's like, "Oh yeah, well screw you. We're going to still try and make our own chips." And so they released a outdated 7-nanometer chip inside of their new Huawei phone, which supposedly means that they've beaten sanctions. Like, oh, we don't need your chips. We can make our own. You dig into it a little bit. No, it's not their own thing, because they imported the machines from Europe to make these chips.
Before sanctions.
Yeah, and no, even recently, because the sanctions weren't even against that type of technology. So they, like in June or July of this year, they were importing hundreds of millions of dollars worth of these lithography machines from Europe to make these
outdated
chips.
Ones.
Yeah. They just do the DUV lithography. So they basically imported the foreign machines to make the chips. The chips are based on ARM architecture and foreign. It's like basically it's copied from Western design. So there's nothing new about this chip. No. It's not like revolutionary.
It's old.
It wasn't invented by China. It wasn't thought up or created in China.
It's the equivalent performance of an iPhone from 2018.
Yeah, so it's old. It's an old technology. It's way behind. And again, people keep saying that China has made this. They didn't. No. China just figured out how to copy something.
That would imply that they made the equipment to make the chip, which they did not. They're using outdated technology.
Or they designed the architecture. Or they it's not. It's based on ARM architecture and everything. Anyway, so it's like the big breakthrough here is that China figured out how to copy Western
existing
old technology better than before.
Yes.
Okay. So anyway, the thing is, it has become an incredibly big sort of propaganda point and talking point for China.
Yes.
It's like, smash sanctions. Oh yeah, US, see what happens if you sanction us. We just innovate. So sell us chips again, please, please, please. That's basically what it is.
You have to understand that this whole ploy, the reason they're making such a big stink out of it is because if they can convince media and companies and governments, really, that's really what they're trying to go after.
Yep.
If they can convince Western governments, especially like the current US administration, that, hey, these chips, you can sanction us all you want. We've already done it. We've surpassed it. We can figure it out ourselves. So why not just open the trade and let everyone can make more money?
Yes.
Then they've convinced the leadership that, and then they can continue importing chips.
So look, long story short, it's not an impressive chip. It's not a great phone, but because it's such a propaganda win, it's being pushed as being innovative and amazing. And one of the big selling points is the CIA can't access your phone. We're going to get into that in a second. Anyway, this is one of the biggest features that has been touted. Okay, I want you guys to watch this because this is actually important. Okay, so everyone knows in China, they have a cashless society these days, as in...
I can't say last time I used cash.
Yeah, it's just like America since the 70s with credit cards, but except it's all tied to your phone, which is actually, I'll be honest with you, it's convenient, but also inconvenient. Because if your phone runs out of battery, and if your phone gets hacked or whatever...
You can do that in America too.
I know, it's called like Apple Pay or whatever. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
It's normal.
Give them their moment in the sun, okay? Let them say.
So what you're saying is America that has Apple Pay and Samsung Pay and Google Pay, pretty much every place I go to, and then also you have the ability to use cash and credit card, is worse than China where you can only use your phone.
I didn't say it's worse.
No, I know. I'm saying, so that's what the propaganda says.
Yeah. So anyway, the whole thing is like, and we did it for years, when you pay for something, you can open your WeChat app, which is like WhatsApp, but it's all encompassing. You can pay your bills through it and stuff.
Yeah.
And you open up the WeChat Pay, it shows a QR code. Then the shop can scan the QR code and then it deducts money from your account. And then that's how you pay for things, right? Or you can also scan theirs and put in the amount back, whichever way. So this is one of the breakthrough features of this new phone is watch this, okay? You go buy what you want. And you don't need to open your WeChat, okay? They just scan it, watch. See, she's confused, like, show me the barcode. He's like, no, just scan my phone. Just scan my phone. See, and it opens up. He's putting us like, whoa, look at the little cat emoji and stuff. Isn't that incredible? Now, firstly, I saw this and I was like, hey, that's a nice feature. I'm thinking to myself, how does this work? Does it detect that there's an IR
my alarm
pulse?
bells went off immediately.
Is there does it pick up the infrared pulse signal or a laser or whatever? What's causing this, okay? And you're probably thinking to yourself, holy shit, that's kind of cool. What an interesting feature. But it's actually a lot more sinister than you think it is, okay? Because look how this works. This is how this feature works. Watch, someone tested it. They took a picture of a scanner. Okay, so you see someone's got a picture of one of those shop scanner things on their phone.
Barcode reader.
Yeah, barcode reader. So he's just got a picture of it. Okay, so here's the Huawei Mate 60. He shows a picture of one of those scanners to it, and boom, it pops up with a Jifubao.
Wait, so it's not infrared, it's a camera.
It's got a camera that is always on.
Oh my god.
And so the camera sees a picture of a scanner. So it's trying to recognize anything that looks like a scanner all the time.
Wow.
All the time. And then if it sees one, it pops it up. It's got nothing to do with picking up a signal or anything like that. So now...
Well, that's especially nefarious because of what you told me what this phone can do.
Yeah,
Later.
exactly. Yeah, we'll see.
Oh my god.
So it's the picture of a scanner, not any kind of sensing anything. It's not impressive at all.
Right.
In fact, it's worrying because now you know that the camera is on all the time. And this has been proven even more, not just by this person over here, but take a look. All right.
That is autonomous.
Yes, and that is autonomous. Okay.
That should be a soundbite. I'm writing that down.
Yeah, we got to. By the way, you see, there's a QR code. Everyone knows QR codes. You see them on adverts everywhere. Yes. In China, you use them to pay for things, etc., etc. Okay?
Yeah.
Now watch what happens when this person, this is the Mate 60, okay? It's just normal. There. It's just looking at it, just unlocked it. There's nothing about it. All of a sudden, look at the bottom there. It's like, pops up. Oh, there's a QR code. Why don't you scan it? Look. So look, boom. Every time they go over a QR code, it's like, hey, do you want to visit this site or whatever? Do you want to open this link? That means the camera's on all the time. Now look, even the front-facing camera, it comes up too.
Oh, no.
So now you know your Huawei Mate 60 and Mate 60 Pro and whatever else is always on. The front and rear camera
At least
is
the
on.
Mate 60 Pro. We don't know about the other Huawei's.
The Mate 60 and the Mate 60
Yeah,
Pro, they're the same thing, really.
No, I'm thinking because there are some people in the chat that are like, oh crap, I'm using a Huawei to watch this. We don't know about those ones.
Yeah, the older
new
ones, probably not. But, I mean, this is proof that the Huawei phone is constantly looking at you and your environment all the time. Because even if it's just to, look for QR codes and to look for, barcode scanners or whatever, whenever you've got your phone on, it's staring at you. That's a bit worrying.
Peeping Tamu.
Yeah, exactly. Peeping Huawei. Seriously, though, I don't know about you, but I feel fairly uncomfortable if my phone is constantly looking at everything that I'm doing.
If I got within 5 feet of a Huawei, I'd run away. And then now that I know this, I'd be like, holy shit, this is bad.
It's awful.
This is bad.
You'll find out even more why it's bad in a second.
It's
but anyway,
bad.
One of the things that people have been touting about this Huawei phone is that it can do satellite phone calls. It's got a satellite chip in it, okay? So it's separate from the main chip. A lot of people also get confused. The main CPU is their so-called breakthrough thing.
Which is not.
Which is just, it's
2018
average.
iPhone performance.
It's an average CPU. It's not amazing. It does the job, but it's like if you got a big SUV and you put in a crappy 4-cylinder engine, it'll still go.
Like you blew your motor or something happened and you replaced it with a Ford Focus engine. You know what I mean? That's what that would be.
It'll still be fine.
You're in a Ford or a Chevy Suburban, but you put a Ford Focus engine, it'll move it, but it won't be very good.
Yeah, but the thing is, the satellite chip is independent from the CPU. It's got nothing to do with the CPU. So it's not, remember, a lot of people are getting confused here.
Yeah.
And thinking
Break it down for them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you think, oh, it's got this new chip from China and it can do satellite phone calls. Well, that's two independent things.
Yeah.
You know, like you put in different aspects and different features into your phones.
Yes.
Okay. And the satellite chip is something completely different to the CPU, just so that you guys know.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens. We got a guy here, not this person who's finding out that, oh shit, everything you go. He's
Toilet tool, dude. Toilet tool.
Yeah,
Does it not
exactly.
look like a toilet appliance?
It does look like a
It's
toilet
the
appliance,
ugliest
yeah.
phone I've ever seen.
It's very horrible. So this guy in Hubei over here, he went and he got, now, by the way, if you want to use the satellite phone call, you have to get a special SIM card. Okay. And he's got the China Telecom one here.
Right.
湖北金门市我是第一个办的，我以为和正常卡一样，办完我拿着就走了。刚好今天呢，我来到我这儿的那个。
You have such a good voice.
Yeah, he does. He
be a
should
voice
be on
actor.
radio or
Yeah.
something. Anyway, so he's just bought the Huawei, he bought the satellite SIM card, and now he went out into the countryside, basically, right? He says Shanli-mian, which whatever. So he's in the mountains, right?
山里面这个风景还不错。但是刚好手机没信号了，还有另外一台小米呢，有一台联通的，还有一点点信号，然后有。
So he bought a bunch of other phones with him, and he's got you got Yidong and Liantong are the two different competing, mobile brands. What do you call them? Carriers in China.
Yeah, cell phone provider.
Yeah, he's got the Liantong's got like one bar in it in his Xiaomi phone, and then he's got another phone which
这个
has.
移动的也挂了。我说这么好的。
And the Zhongguo Yidong is Guala, so that means he can't pick up any signal with Yidong. So now he's like, hey, now we're going to test the satellite phone, right? Now he's like, let's try this new satellite thing.
条件呢，我肯定要掏出我的 Mate 60卫星电话测试一下，连接的非常非常顺利，卫星什么的都对接上了。结果你们听，
已平息，您使用的电话已平息，您使用的电话已平息。
So as you can see, it connects, it's spotty, and it's like the
So
service doesn't work.
Correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't have a satellite phone. But isn't a satellite phone supposed to be able to get signal to a satellite when there's no signal around you?
That's the whole point.
That's why you have it,
That's
right?
why you have it. Like if you're out in the wilderness, there's no cell phone towers. So it does connect, but then it's like this phone is out of service. You know, it's out of, the service is down or whatever. So it doesn't work anyway.
Yeah.
And so the guy's quite clear about this.
我欠费了，1000块钱，我花了1000块钱，然后欠费了。
So he paid 1,000 RMB, which is like what, $150. He paid that for the satellite service. So it was a waste of money because the satellite service apparently doesn't work.
Yeah, well, it didn't work for him. He went out and tested it.
There were other people. There are conflicting videos from what it looks to be propaganda sources showing almost like an advertisement. Like, look, I can use satellite service.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, the fact of the matter is we heard it there and it was spotty. You heard it was like breaking in and out. It's not great. So anyway, this massive thing they're talking about. Now, here's something that's even more worrying, guys, about this new phone. I'm going to read you a little excerpt about what's going on here. So on September 11th, of course, rest in peace. September 11th.
Never forget.
Sichuan Yiyuan Information Security Company announced that it had cracked Huawei Mate 60 and launched Huawei Mate 60 Rapid Forensic Investigation Tool version 1. Okay, now wait until you hear about this tool because it's
I heard about
worrying.
this tool.
Okay, first of all, there's a free version for law enforcement officers.
Uh-oh.
Now, this, by the way, anyone who thinks there's some nonsense going on here, we know people personally who have been called into the police station. They take their phones, they plug it into a computer. They just plug it in, and then they can get all their messages and stuff off of it. This happens in China, okay? And they use this kind of software. Now, this particular software, it's something that's commercially available because they give a free version to law enforcement, okay? But then they have a commercial version, of course, for other people to use. So, which can perform data recovery on Mate 60 series mobile phones in just 3 steps. Information extraction is available, allowing law enforcement officers to be more confident when collecting evidence from Mate 60 series mobile phones. All right, so let's look into this a little bit. I just wanted to show you the next. This shows you like how easy it is. This is step 1, 2, 3. So I cobbled together a very bad Google translated thing here, but basically it says, efficiently sourcing Huawei Mate 60 mobile phone rapid forensics investigation tool V5, free version for law enforcement, etc. It says 1, connect the mobile phone. So in other words, plug it into a USB on the computer. 2, click to extract. 3, view the result. It's that simple. But now what kind of results are you thinking you can get from plugging this thing in? Well, according to an article published by Efficiency Source, the company's rapid forensic investigation tool supports the cracking of call records and pictures on Huawei Mate 60, as well as the data recovery of more than 300 apps such as WeChat, QQ, Twitter, Telegram, Reddit, and TikTok, including the satellite SMS function that Huawei focuses on promoting. Even deleted satellite SMS records can also be restored. So I thought I'd just show you. You can see these are some of the apps that, by plugging the Huawei Mate 60 Pro into this software, you can get all of the chat records, everything. Okay, there's a couple of examples here. Here you can see deleted messages. It shows with a little X that they were deleted. So you can go and basically browse through the phone's apps, get access to deleted messages, get access to all the pictures that were taken. Okay, remember, you don't need login or anything. You just plug it into the phone, right? It's been cracked. And you can also, here, this is the satellite SMS feature, or text feature, if you want to call it that. That you can also get that. So, we're talking about a very insecure phone here. So all this thing about, the CIA won't be able to do anything. Well, you don't need to worry about the CIA, do you? When you're in China, you don't need to worry about the CIA.
What is the CIA going to do with some random Chinese person with a Huawei?
You're in China on your Huawei phone, and you're saying my real estate company won't finish my building, and I'm pissed off, and I want to go.
The CIA is going to come and get you.
You think the CIA, or you're I'm dissatisfied with the government? You think the CIA, from America, is going to come and do something to you?
I think what you want to advertise, what you should be advertising, is buy an iPhone so that the CCP has a harder time spying on
It's
you.
not the CIA you have to worry about in China. It's the local Chinese government, because they're the ones monitoring you, and they're the ones looking for anything.
Yes.
And you can really very easily get into trouble if you say the wrong thing.
One thing against a politician in China, that's picking quarrels and causing trouble, or one of many other laws. You could be a dissident, you could be a traitor.
Yeah.
I mean, they disappear people for the most gentle things.
Yeah. Now, one thing I found quite funny is that this clip has been going around for a while, but it's being used as a positive thing, right? Which is strange.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
It's like a dude trying to queue up.
Baby.
He doesn't want to queue up. He just wants to buy the Huawei, phone.
I just need my Huawei.
So, I mean, look at what happens. He's like, 我就要买Huawei手机. I just want to buy a Huawei phone.
He's throwing a temper tantrum, and that's being used as positive propaganda for the Huawei, because the demand is just so high that even a grown man will throw himself on the floor like a little toddler.
Well, I mean, the reason I wanted to show this is this showcases one of the big issues in China with the one-child policy is this little emperor syndrome. A 40-year-old man acting like a toddler and having to have his head patted. Look at this crap.
Did you cut that?
I may have added an extra in there.
That's a wow so good.
Yeah, it is kind of a...
Wow, so good.
Yeah. Anyway, so there's a bit of a... and the other one's like, oh, 这么多人, be a cool, whatever. It's like there are too many people don't cry, all that kind of stuff. And so they escort him out. But one thing I'd like everybody to notice is that, you cannot tell a Huawei store apart from an Apple store, can you? In fact, even the staff are wearing blue shirts, just like an Apple. And I know a lanyard. They copied it down to a T.
To a T.
It's insulting.
Can I say this?
Yeah.
Huawei is a bullshit, fake-ass rip-off company. And it always has been.
Yeah.
Why is everyone thinking it's some revolutionary thing? They suck and they copy everything. That's how they got their roots.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought, take that quiz time.
Okay, let's have a quiz.
I wanted to ask you, is this a Huawei store or an Apple store?
Really could be either, couldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I wish we had time to do polls, but I thought it'll take too long. But for those of you out there, can you guess? Do you think what you're seeing behind us is a Huawei store or an Apple store? Well, the answer to that question is it's a Huawei store.
That's great.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's
Great.
sure. How about this? Is this a Huawei store or an Apple store?
That is a Apple store.
Huawei
Sorry,
store.
I'm wrong. I didn't see this.
I mean,
ahead
they
of time.
copied
Why
the
you ask me?
Yeah, okay. my question is this a Huawei notebook or an Apple notebook? You know, like a laptop.
That looks like an Apple.
Okay. You are right. That is an Apple. Then I'd like to ask you, how about this one? Is this a Huawei notebook or an Apple notebook?
That looks exactly the same.
Even the like lame artsy-fartsy wallpaper thing, like swirl thing.
I would, if I didn't know you were going to quiz me on
That's
this,
a
I would
Huawei.
have guessed it was an Apple.
Well, I mean, like, if you look, that is a Huawei. Even the advertising, the way they advertise it is exactly the same.
yeah.
There's the
It's
Apple.
the same aspect ratio,
It's the same
shot.
shot. Okay, there's the Apple. There's the Huawei. I mean, come on. That's just lazy.
These are the same picture.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, I wanted to ask you, you know, we use MacBooks.
Yep.
So what is that, Huawei or Apple? Because, you know the font. In fact, I'm looking at
Sure.
your MacBook right now.
Right.
You know the font, right? So what is that?
That's Apple.
Yeah, look, it's
Yeah.
exactly the
That's
same.
an Apple.
Exactly the same.
That would be an Apple, right?
No, it's a Huawei.
Oh, that's a Huawei. Oh my gosh.
And you know what's even more insulting? Is,
Yes.
you use an Apple MacBook, right?
I do.
Do you know what they call that?
Mate book.
Yes. It's a Huawei
I just
MateBook.
honestly guessed because I'm
it's-
thinking the Huawei Mate.
Yeah, it's a Huawei MateBook. So
Wow.
it's also
That's like
made,
a book that teaches you how to bang.
or it's like, hey, it's a mate.
It's
Your friend.
This was my friend
book.
in second
like
grade.
Friend, like
Grade.
Facebook, but you know, it's like
Yeah, it's Mate book. It's only for the UK.
it's like the
like
UK's
a guy
version
with
of
like a
Facebook.
pint
Yeah.
in a rugby
Well, I
jersey.
might,
or
yeah,
something,
let's go grab a pint. Anyway, yeah, that's Huawei, believe it or not. So, I mean, we're dealing with a company that just blatantly copies Apple. Like completely, blatantly copies everything. And people suddenly have to believe that they innovate their own stuff. Come on.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so pathetic. Anyway, one last one. Huawei store or Apple store? I blurred out the phones because, it has logos on
I
it.
see Chinese people everywhere in this.
Yeah, but I mean, you've been to China and you know.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you mean. It could be an Apple store in China.
Yeah,
These are
yeah.
all in China. Okay.
Yeah, all
But
these
it's probably
pictures-
an Apple store then because you've done too many Huawei's.
No, it's a Huawei store.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's all different.
Yeah, it's exactly. They even down to the wood grain on the tables.
Yes.
They make it the same. The way the phones are spaced out and stand up is the same. If you've been to Huawei's flagship store or any of the big Huawei stores, they have copied the design language down to a T.
Yeah.
Even the colors and the
Yeah.
lighting and the everything. It's exactly the same.
You know what's sad is that the new Mate 60 Pro, which again performs about the same as an iPhone from 2018,
Mm-hmm.
costs about as much as a new iPhone.
The iPhone 15.
Why would you buy it?
Exactly. It costs $1,000.
They call it the Patriot tax.
Yes, yeah, they
You're
do.
buying the homegrown Chinese
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly. So, anyway, it's so pathetic. It's become such a nationalist pride thing that you've got shit like this little boy saluting an obscured ad in a mall or underground walkway. Okay? What the hell's going on, dude?
That's the salute they do in school, by the
Yeah.
way, to the party.
It's a salute to the Communist Party. So this little boy is not only saluting an advert,
That's so.
but he's bowing down
that
and groveling
is
to
the
it.
most dystopian because it's like slave to capitalism,
Yeah.
slave to the party's nationalism, right? It's both.
Yeah.
That's China. That's the most Chinese photo I've ever seen in my life.
Dude, can you imagine walking into a mall and there's an Adidas poster over there and you're like, Adidas.
I'll do
Yeah.
this kind, obviously,
Yeah,
as I'm
yeah.
American, but
Yeah.
yeah, I go and I salute and I go, this is our. Actually, Adidas is from Italy, isn't it?
Whatever, you
gotta
know,
pick something
sketches.
Skechers, and I go like this, and everyone walks by and they go, that's a patriot, and that is autonomous.
Yeah, that is, where the salute comes from, right?
What?
Knights in shining armor.
Yeah, that's right.
Before a
Learned about
joust
that
order,
at
and then
school.
they put that down. That's
the
where it comes
helmet
from.
flip.
Yeah, that little helmet.
Do that when we ride motorcycles. We're saluting
Yeah,
every time.
yeah, you always.
Yeah.
I tell you what, there are no knights in shining armor in China. So why are they copying? They're even knocking off salutes
Well,
now.
that's why they do it up here.
Yeah, it's just to make it slightly different, yeah, anyway.
Get it ripping up.
Yeah,
the salute.
damn it! Stop it,
This is so. I don't even blame the kid. 'cause
No,
he's
but
been
it's-
taught this poison.
It's so pathetic, though, isn't
Yeah,
it? It's
yeah.
a freaking phone, and it's not even a good phone.
so stupid.
It's dumb, dude. Anyway, so now here, real
Let's see
real
this
talk.
real world experience. This is what.
Okay,
we do, right?
so somebody posted on Weibo after buying it. They rushed out to buy it, and this is I use Google Translate for this, so it might be a bit rough, but he says, real experience of Huawei Mate Pro. You need to be cautious when buying it. Hashtag Huawei Mate Pro, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
User experience. Friends who want to buy Huawei Mate 60 should still be cautious. Although they don't expect the Mate 60 chip to be so amazing, after all, the production process is there. And most of the online experiences are exaggerated.
You don't say.
I mean, come on. Remember they've shown all those like zooming, zoom in on the
They were
pollution?
zooming on the moon or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
And I feel like I've seen that clip before this phone even existed.
You know what? I saw the best thing ever was like it's just like a joke because people were filming the moon, showing like the pictures on different.
The what?
Oh yeah. Come on. So people were like all standing there filming the moon, and then one dude's playing like the Apollo landing on his, So it looks like, it's like everyone else is filming like this blurry ass shit, and he's got the astronauts getting out of the modules.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good. Anyway, so there've been a lot of people like, this is such an amazing thing, and it's true. It's like it's exaggerated. Remember, guys, it's just an average phone, and it's a below average phone. It's old.
Yeah.
Just add gimmicks and gain traffic. I've been using it for 3 days. The biggest feeling is that the heat is serious. No matter what you do, as long as the screen is on, it will heat up like crazy.
And actually, there's context for that because apparently the chip that they used would have terrible heat properties because it's just not that modern kind of heat dispersion technology.
The bigger the nanometer, the less efficient it is, and that's why. When you use a 5 nanometer or a 3 nanometer, it's more efficient. It uses less battery.
Yeah.
So this uses more battery, especially since it's going to have the camera on all the time to spy on you.
I didn't think about that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because it's a worse, older process, of course, it's less efficient at heat dispersal. So yeah, it is going to get hot. So anyway, it says it'll heat up like crazy. I used a hand warmer directly. The heat is much worse than that of my Mate 30 Pro, because he's obviously got a Mate 30 Pro. When I bought it, I knew it was an IQ tax and a patriotic tax. There's no other way.
IQ tax.
Yeah. I really want to return it, so be careful before buying it. Yeah. So, I mean, that's just real speak.
Yeah, I can't read the Chinese, too small there.
Yeah, it's too small.
But it's, it's a nuanbao, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Oh, hand warmer.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a very expensive hand warmer.
Yeah. So, look, I'm sure we're going to see more and more stuff coming out, but the thing is the Chinese government is running with this. Okay, so Global Times, which is, of course, the official Chinese mouthpiece of the Communist Party of China, the English mouthpiece. Yeah, English mouthpiece. They made a graphic, like a lame meme.
Hashtag GT graphic.
Yes, Global Times graphic.
Do they not know how hashtags work?
No one's searching hashtag GT graphic.
I always wanted to see a GT graphic.
Yeah, exactly. Apple launches the new iPhone 15 with USB-C charger. Which company is more innovative? And so then they show like the Leonardo DiCaprio meme or whatever, and it's like iPhone 15, we have USB-C charger. Mate 60 Pro, we support satellite voice calls.
I wish you had a soundbite.
You're out of service.
Yeah, out of service.
I mean, one thing I think they're missing here is, yes, the iPhone 15 might not look like much has changed, but it has a 3 nanometer chip in it.
Oh, it has a lot of things
Dude,
that are much
it can play
better.
AAA games.
It's not even close.
Yeah, you can play like Resident Evil 4, like the kind of stuff that you could only play on higher end consoles.
Bro, an iPhone 10 is more advanced than the Huawei Mate 60 Pro. An iPhone 10.
So while the Wumao online have been, this Mate 60 Pro is great. Look, I can play Genshin Impact or something.
Can I remind everyone that it uses Harmony OS, which means you can't use the Google Play Store.
No, you cannot install Google apps.
So this is like the biggest pile of shit.
No Google Maps, no Google Translate, no Google
it costs like $1,000?
Yes, $1,000.
So what are you buying it for?
The entry level iPhone 15 is $1,000.
So why would you buy this?
Yeah, why would you? I mean, the iPhone 15 is going to have better battery life. It's going to run cooler.
So a hot spy
faster.
phone. Yeah, a hot spy phone that can't use satellite calls. Well, at least from what we've seen.
Yeah, maybe they just rushed it out and haven't gotten the whole service working properly. There's always that possibility.
Can't use the Google Play Store. Will be hardware blocked because of the Chinese government on a lot of stuff.
Yes, and also can be spied on 100% by the Chinese government.
Yes.
Has fully compromised and cracked.
Yes. And we're sitting here trying to think that this is a competitor that has defeated sanctions and is on the same level as the new iPhone.
Yeah, the iPhone better watch out.
Wow. I mean, you have to be very highly regarded to believe that.
I mean, the thing is, we've still got the iPhone 12.
Yeah.
And that's already better. Like,
way leaps and bounds.
Way better, yeah. So, that's the thing. This whole hoo-ha about the Mate 60, remember, it is propaganda. And also, when you have a big, like, it's almost like a mass delusional situation here, where everyone's, this is the best phone ever. Screw America and the West. We only need our own stuff. We're saluting it. All that kind of crap. It's mass hysteria, and people are not going to point out the shortcomings. You know what it's like if you really support something. You know, your football team sucks, but you're always going to be like, oh yeah, they just had a little bit of bad luck or something. You know, you always, you know what I mean? So it's mass hysteria.
It's extra special for China.
Yeah.
Because I admit my football team sucks.
Okay, yeah, it is. But what I'm saying is that if someone is using their Mate 60 and it sucks, they're going to be like, oh, maybe I just got a faulty one, or, you know, like, oh no, but it's okay.
There are
At least it's good enough.
There are people that are very mad.
There are people that are mad, but they're not going to be overly like
you can't.
shouting about
You
it.
can't.
Yes, because if you did, you'd be knocked down by not only your compatriots who can't afford it, you know, but also the other people that, you know, there's a lot of nationalist pride on the line here. So they're not going to allow people to talk.
The government's not going to. They've clearly shown that they have an interest in Huawei over and over and over again.
This is the Chinese government. Okay, this Huawei. All of those stupid like officials, Chinese government officials, keep posting. Look at the lines outside the Huawei stores. Look how Huawei is beating sanctions.
Yeah.
I keep saying it's like as if the defense minister of the USA is like, I just bought the iPhone 15. Look how great it is. Amazing. This is America.
This
like,
is
look
our
at
pride.
And they keep tweeting about it every day.
Yeah.
It's kind of pathetic. Anyway, so I think we kind of covered this one for now. I'm pretty sure we've been discussing this. I'm pretty sure more's going to come out about this.
Oh, yeah.
And I predict that although there'll be a little bit of a like nationalist backlash against people who want to buy the iPhone 15, I think people are still just going to buy it. It's still going to be queues. It's still going to be the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Always is.
Always is.
And even back when they were like hating on America, people still went and bought it.
This will be cool for not influential people that want to be patriotic.
Yeah.
And show off.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you the funniest show and the craziest show you've ever seen. I did it, guys.
You look ridiculous. You look ridiculous. What are you supposed to be, a bloody baker?
Yeah. And he's wearing this, like, condom.
What is that? Okay.
I don't want to be one of those guys like, oh, the clowns are scary, but this shit was scary. Purple and yellow balloon, like a balloon suit, fitted tights. And she goes, come here, and like she like pulls me, right? She's like, take your pants off. No, take them off. I was grabbed, I was handled.
Well, you're basically the naughty baker.
I didn't do anything naughty.
Oh, this is cringe.
Can almost see it. When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs. And if my mind works backwards just for a minute, I hold on to you.
Huawei. 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 Huawei.
已平息，您使用的电话已平息，您使用的电话已平息。